Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. Remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now on the show, I'm Waba Plays, alongside the return of the king, Court Lalonde. Hello.
Why was that so awkward? Pest.
Fumbling, stumbling. My man
Because
was. My man was
I
like.
didn't plan it ahead of time.
Honestly, all I'm trying to do right now is go through Twitter to see if there's a live camera of the Washington Capitals table when the Philadelphia Flyers took Bitchkoff. Like,
Just
think how
shambles.
amazing that is. It's like
An
a
absolute
Russian
shambles.
superstar is finally available, and they're at 8, and number 7's going, and Philly's like, like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was very gritty of them, would you say?
Ooh.
Oh God.
We are also here with the Mr. Moneybags, the Nintendo shareholder, Pez.
That's right. Waba Plays fumbling, stumbling over our intro like he was a lineman picking up a fumble heading towards the end zone.
What is he, a Buffalo Bill?
Did I make it to the end zone?
He's Leon Lett. Hold on. Let's roll a d20. Yes, you did. Congratulations.
Diamond hands.
Diamond Hands. They call him Diamond Hands Plays.
What is this? I don't understand.
It's
Where's that
just
coming from?
What are you talking about?
Discord has a soundboard feature, and Waba is like obsessed with it.
Where is it?
Nowhere.
Don't show him because it's just gonna go off during the whole.
Well,
thing.
no.
I'll show
You
after.
have to.
Yeah.
I'm
What kind of
Googling it
nerd-
while you're talking. That's not fair. Is it the spaceship thing?
No,
way.
that's an activity. Don't do that because then it'll screw up all of our. It'll screw up our whole screen.
we don't need
Discord
to be
has a
playing.
soundboard. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
But
Yep.
Pez, how did you come into these this fortune?
That's the first thing. If you put in the word Discord, the soundboard comes up.
How'd I come into what fortune? All I did was buy.
To be a Nintendo shareholder.
Oh, the hacker of 4chan, I think is what you mean. Nothing. I bought some shares on Robinhood. I said, you know what? Listen, I'm an adult. I make adult money. I want to be an owner of one of my favorite companies. So you know what? Bam, bought some Nintendo shares. So I own like 5.0000005% of Nintendo. Thank you.
So now, if anybody has any
God, here we
issues
go.
with Nintendo,
That was
make sure to
You can
tweet
add
at
some.
Pez.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
can.
God.
You can
This is
tweet
gonna
at
be
me
bad.
at your uncle at Nintendo. That's my new Twitter name.
That's what I'm gonna say next time someone makes me mad online. I'll be like, my friend works for Nintendo. He owns Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't work there. They work for me. So now I can go to shareholder meetings and say, hey, where are my Splatoon 3 maps? This is
Are you
everything
gonna walk
that's
in
wrong
there
with
with
them.
a red shirt and some overalls?
No, I'm not
Be
flying
like,
to Japan.
It's a me.
It's a me stockholder. But yeah, bought a few shares of a company I like. Why not?
I'm proud of you.
Thank
It's
you.
very fiscally
I've got shares
responsible.
in Microsoft, Apple, Sony, Ford.
Crushing it. Maybe not the last one, but the other four
No,
are great.
Ford's good.
Is
I
it?
disagree with you. That's done me very well. I bought it like 4 years ago when it was really low, and they've done very well because they're EV trucks and they're EV cars. They've done very well.
They go in the electric route.
See, I invest in the commodities, as it were.
Like GameStop.
Tangible
Listen,
goods.
we all pump and stump.
No,
we
I
all
mean-
pump
I mean,
and dump
in-
GameStop,
I
except
mean-
for you. You just pumped it, and now it's pumping you.
I mean, I go to stores and I invest in the tangible goods, you know?
Yeah, who buy? Like, I was laughing how what was the game that's releasing? Starfield. They're like, fine, we'll put a physical copy of the disc in there, but there's nothing going to be on it. Like, that's the best part. They're putting a disc in the game because everybody whined like little babies, and the disc isn't going to do anything.
It's gonna make
Like,
people
that's
feel better.
hilarious.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm nothing against people collecting physicals. Like, I know both of you, Pez gets stuff that he really likes, and I know Waba has a serious issue, but to complain that much, to force a developer to put a blank disc in there just to make people happy, it's a bit weird, no?
I just think people should stop complaining.
Because what Todd Howard
Yeah.
said, he's not wrong. these discs that they put in games now are pointless.
Yeah, they don't mean anything.
They're just CD keys.
It's like the
Because
guy from the wrestling thing. It's real to me, damn it.
once a game shuts down, like the Cycle Frontier is shutting down in September, if you own that physically, you're never gonna play it because it's on servers. Like it's done. It doesn't
It's like
matter if
Final
you own.
Fantasy.
It's
Final
not
Fantasy
a.
16. The game's on the disc.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good for you there. What
There
is
you go.
Square Enix? Is that a
Mhm.
Squeenix
Squeenix.
game?
Squeenix.
Good on you, Squeenix. Dude, Square Enix, between Final Fantasy, Guardians, small come up. Small.
Small indie company doing well. It's good to see.
You love it.
So today's episode is going to be a lot of us talking about different things that we've been playing that we want to share with you, different experiences about current titles, and maybe some future ones. I know sometimes we talk about, here's like when we play, but no, this is all now and the future. So get ready for it. The first is about our friends at Outright Games. So Outright had they told us about a lot of different games that are coming up, and we have 4 that we want to highlight for you. And the first is about Paw Patrol World. So Paw Patrol World is a open 3D explorable world that you can travel around. There's like a big overview, what is it? There's like different like 4 or 5 different maps
Get
that
your
you can
pup
explore
pad.
around.
You
In
pull up the pup pad,
Overworld?
which is your map, and then
Pup
you get
pad.
to look at the different areas, and you'll get to meet different characters, and you also can use the pups like almost a la Grand Theft Auto, right? You can change your pups per mission.
Well,
Well, it's true
well,
because
they're not gonna be in another place like
no,
like
but
digging in
you
the
know what I mean. You
trash.
can change during the mission. So, like, if you find something that you need, you can change right to that other pup,
Yep.
and then through the mission, you could do all those things, and then you're gonna have all these different collectibles that you'll find out through the world. You'll have actual missions that you can go do, but the world is vast compared to any of their games. Most of their Paw Patrol games, they're linear or they're side scrolling, and this
Yep.
one is going to be a lot different. And the thing that I like the most about it, and I'm most excited, is it's going to teach kids that type of video game. They've done a very good job at Outright of teaching kids to get ready for these larger games, and this is just another crumb right there. They're like, hey, we're going to teach you how to do an open world. We're not going to give you this vast, ginormous open world, but we're going to give you like, PlayStation 3 open world. And we'll put you in there so you can actually learn what it's all about, and almost like a choose your own adventure for a kid. I'm excited for this game.
It reminded me a little bit of like Banjo-Kazooie because a lot of the game there's some like story missions, but the bulk of it is to collect like different things, and you
Bones.
can switch to any pup. You can like explore, like there's some interactables they have, like bushes you like dive in, so that's kind of cool exploration for kids. You can change to the cars too, because that's like a big thing. Each pup has their own car. Some can like go on the water. And as you collect the treats, there's like a little bar that fills up, and you get a reward each time, and it's like a cosmetic or something like that. And
Not something
you
like
can
that. That's what it is.
you can also add like stickers like to scenes on like these postcards, which are neat. I mean, kids. My daughter, who's 4, loves games where you can like basically
Yeah, the
put
photo
stickers.
mode looks like it's going to get addictive for kids.
One of my like few favorite things on this is it's voiceovered. So the past games, again, like my daughter loves like Paw Patrol. She loves Peppa's voice acted, which she's obsessed with. But a lot of these previous games that they did, it was a lot of text, and for kids, it's kind of heavy. Now you can play it with your kid, but they really like. I mean, it's like watching a cartoon. Now it's all voice acted, so I think that's going to make it more accessible for the younger audiences.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think because of the pandemic, we kind of got like it kind of hurt them because of those games they couldn't get all the voice acting. But all the games that we saw, that was one of the highlights they mentioned pretty much every single time. Every single game now is going to be voice acted.
They also have a day-night cycle, which like for like Paw Patrol, it just shows like the level of detail. And something I love is that Paw Patrol World is 60 frames per second while Starfield is 30. And I want you to think of that when you're playing your space game. Just know that Paw Patrol is 60 frames per second, and I
4K.
can play with my kid.
Yeah.
Flip it and ship it. There's also co-op, and you can both. So they did this thing like for like siblings and stuff like that. Like you can both be the same pup, so you're not both fighting over like rubble and making it physical. Where
Why
while
would it be rubble? Chase is on the case.
Because
Bob.
Rubble's on the double, my guy.
I don't think so.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious right now. Chase is on the case at all times.
Dude, Chase couldn't chase a thing without Rubble's help. Rubble is the homie. All right? Rubble is him.
Sky is better than Rubble.
This is just blasphemy, and I just don't want our audience to put up with it anymore. Tweet at Court and tell him why his choice in pup is suboptimal.
Buddy.
But they also so you can sorry. But they did these
No,
things so
you're
like
not.
siblings won't grief each other. They said like you can both explore independently, but like you have to like
Split screen.
both agree to split or both agree to switch hubs if you want to go to a different level. So like younger brother isn't like exploring and doing a mission while older brother is like going to a new one and resetting everything. Like they thought about like sibling rivalry stuff, and I think that's really cool. And also during missions, if you're not pressing the
we
right
can play with Waba and he won't cry. That's what he's telling you.
Finally. Waba plays
No,
games?
I want to be a rider.
Waba doesn't play. He plays a game. That's it. One game.
Hey, Waba plays won the Stanley Cup today.
I did. I'm a cup champion. Remember that.
It
Finally.
took, what, like 4 years?
It took him like I wish it was 4 years. It took him like 40 years. My man was playing NHL 350 by the time he won that Stanley Cup.
Dude, Berdard is 31. And people on my team have gray hair.
Yeah.
Like when they took their helmets off, that's how long it's been. But yeah, Paw Patrol is gonna be sick. There's also a Baby Shark game. I'm a big fan of the Baby Shark. My daughter likes the Baby Shark. Some parents might not like the Baby Shark, but let me tell you why it's interesting. Rhythm game. So we always talk about in court. You just mentioned, Outright is great at teaching kids how to play games, and now they're gonna have
the night. Oh yeah.
That's what
yeah.
That's the lead track in the Baby Shark game.
in the Baby Shark.
The rhythm of the night.
This is stuck in my head, but a friend of mine sent me the 2003 NHL. Had the best soundtrack of any NHL with the "Is it this stuff? Whoa!"
Yeah, Jimmy Eat World.
That's the one with
is that a
Ginla? Is that a Ginla on the cover?
Ginla on
of
the
it?
front.
I have that
was
for
the one
GameCube.
on GameCube. It was the best version was GameCube.
Absolute
have-
banger of a soundtrack. Probably the best one. Yep.
Sorry,
Little
so
Sweetness
continue
by
with
Jimmy Eat World.
Baby Shark.
Dude, I will never say no to Jimmy Eat World. But it's gonna be a rhythm game for kids, so it's gonna be able to get kids into that, timing, things like that. But they said that there's gonna be an adult mode,
and it's hard.
It's gonna be tough. And if you
Really?
so I got my start on Twitch doing like Japanese rhythm games. That, in my opinion, like Hatsune Japanese rhythm games, I started to name them, and you guys don't know or care. But
I know
they're
who
tough.
Hatsune Miku is.
You do because you're a man of culture. Okay.
No, because you told me
Yeah.
who or what Hatsune Miku is. That's how I know. We talked about this walking back from the Anamanaguchi concert.
Yeah, the Anawana.
The Anamanaguchi.
So I'm excited for that, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna try to like go like hard in the paint on that like hard mode for rhythm. There's also a
On
new
Twitch?
Jumanji game coming out. Hell yeah, on Twitch.
I was still very I don't know
I'm
why I'm
very-
shocked. Jumanji is their number one selling franchise.
I think it's because it has The Rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna
the
have to
movie,
say
man.
Waba's right, and it's very painful for me
It's
to
the
ever
movie.
admit that.
I love him. But so again, this game, it seems like in terms of like the 4 characters, it's a little more in depth in terms of platforming. But one thing that's cool, so the goal of the game is like to find this jewel, and there's 3 main bosses, and the boss that has that jewel randomizes every time. So you could fight boss A during your first run, and then he has the jewel, and then fight boss A again during the second one. He doesn't. So then you have to go to different levels. I think that's cool. I'm interested to see more about it. I just think I like how Outright's kind of thinking outside the bun a little bit. Like, oh man, like what if we made it like a little bit random in terms of like how this will play out? Especially for something like Court, you said high selling, you're changing the formula a little bit. So, dare to be different. And then there's a Grinch game coming out.
That game looks fun.
It's what a good matchup, Outright and the Grinch.
Agreed.
Gonna steal all the presents.
My daughter loves that movie, so I already showed her the trailer because the trailer dropped today, I think it was, and I showed her the trailer, and she was very excited about that game.
Whoville ain't gonna know what's coming when that
Well,
Grinch is.
No idea.
I've talked about this before. Miles Morales is the Christmas game in our house, and it's just because my daughter loves it, and you can swing around during Christmas time. To bring out a Christmas video game, there really isn't many out there. We
I
need more Christmas video games. Thank you, Outright Games.
I feel like a lot of properties like that came out during like PS2, like and like Wii when they
Well,
basically
no,
were
Division
licensing
is a Christmas
everything.
game, but, like, it's awkward to call it
But
that.
yeah.
Still a Christmas game.
But I feel like a lot of those character license games like came out and they're kind of all like, oh, let's just put the name on it. But I feel like Outright when they take a property, they actually like know what they're doing with it. Like hearing the Outright team like talk about these titles that we're mentioning, like they get it and they like care. This isn't just I'm gonna put a Grinch skin on a random platformer. So I'm excited to see that. And these again, there's more stuff coming out that we're not talking about too. Not because we can't, which is these are the 4 big things that we're excited for and that you're gonna see from us. But Outright crushing it and has a lot coming up. So you'll hear more from us about it because we're definitely going to get into those and share them with our kids.
Well, I mean, and think about how we're talking about their games now. Open world, fully voice acted, multiple being able to go couch co-op and split off without, the screen. Early in their if you look at their early games, racing games. That's all they did, racing games. So they have like evolved like crazy. And now they are making I told you DC, I think the was like the game for them, and now they are just taking off. And it's so good to see.
So strong licenses. The person who was doing the Baby Shark, it was funny. He like mentioned like, oh, this has like 80 million views, and I bet it's like or like billion views, and I bet it's gonna raise. But yep, he's like, it's up another like 2 billion views since I last checked. Like from early in the project, it's just they're picking their spots really well.
Yep.
So. All right. So next game we want to talk about is we kind of alluded to before, but Final Fantasy, the French game.
Jesus,
from
please don't.
Phoenix.
Oh.
So the reason why I think
Also-
this is going to be a good topic to talk about is because when Court said he was going to play it, he played the demo, and I was like, dude, there's no way he's going to make those cutscenes. And this is like the only game he'll talk about now. And it's so cool to see someone who I would not categorize as a Final Fantasy player fall in love
I
with this
am
game so
not a
much.
Final Fantasy player.
So tell us about it. How's it compared to the first 15?
I really like the cutscenes. I feel bad. I was streaming it today on Twitch on Carpool Gaming, and it was literally out of the hour I was on Twitch, 45 minutes of it was cutscenes. And I didn't realize that part. I was at a certain ish part in the story, and it was just cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. And I was just like, oh no. I'm like, should I honestly thought about leaving and going to stream something else. Like, just click out of this game. I'll throw on the Division and be like, sorry, I'll put something that has something going on the screen. But I don't know what it is. I hopped into this game after the demo, and it was definitely not on my radar. When they very first, even the last state of play, I didn't even care for this game. I was like, oh, it looks cool, but I'm like, it's Final Fantasy. Like, I'm not in. I hate turn-based. And then everybody kept saying, well, it's not turn-based. I was like, okay, all right. And then I played the demo, and I was like, this game is awesome. I will say it's definitely Game of Thrones, Final Fantasy, but I'm okay with that. With a little bit of Star Wars, like you're fighting the Empire, like okie dokie. But it's also very corny. There's a lot of 80s references that I don't know if people realize. A ton of them. So whenever they're talking about like getting ready for a battle or all that kind of stuff, it's like straight out of an 80s movie. And I like die laughing, and I'm just like, wow, did they go there? I'm like, that's fine. They even do like the pump up music and everything like that. And they have like these really corny speeches before they go for a fight. I'm like, what are you, the Karate Kid here? Like, seriously? Come on now. But it's great. It's corny. I do think that the voice actors are straight up overacting, like hardcore, but not in a bad way, but definitely like they're putting it on a little thick. But even the way characters die in this, I'm just like, okay, but for some reason enjoying my time with it. Like before I played this game, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was definitely my game of the year. Right now, I'm on the fence. I got to finish Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy is slowly taking over because I can't stop playing this game. The icon battles are amazing. You have these normal battles that you're having, and they look great. You got your combos, everything is really cool, all the icon powers you get to use, but when you have an icon battle, wow. Wow, this game gets awesome. And they also have little story bits that, catch you off guard that you didn't think were gonna happen, and it's very well thought out. Like when you watch these cutscenes, I'm like, I'm watching them. I'm not fast forwarding them. I'm watching them. But I will say this: the side quests are absolute trash, and they don't need to happen. And they're such a complete utter waste of my time, except for the fact that you'd have to do one to get a chocobo. But other than that, they are a waste of time. They're just some of them are like, here, go give food to 3 people that are around the corner. And I'm like, oh my god, are you really that's the character development here? It's not developing anything. So I really think that the side quests I could have done without. But other than that, the game looks beautiful. It's a great setting. I'm a huge like I like that setting, like the medieval setting. I really like that. Like Dragon Age is one of my favorite games. So it's technically the closest thing to playing Game of Thrones with Star Wars with like wizards in it, and I'm
Mhm.
okay. Like it's definitely Star Wars though. Like the whole storyline. It like they talk about fighting the Empire over and over again. I'm like, dude, like honestly, how are they not getting like how
Better
is no
version
one
of Star
suing them for
Wars,
this?
a better
Well, it's
story.
Game of Thrones with Star Wars. Like they have Iron Banner is one of like I'm almost like and it's by the water. I'm like, oh my god. Like it's just like I laugh, but that's fine. Um
Like, hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it up a little.
like that's they literally took Game of Thrones and Star Wars and added wizards. I'm
Fine. The only Game
which
of Thrones game we have stinks.
hey dude, that's what I'm saying. This is great game. I don't know what I'm doing in the game. Like Clive is a character. I Janet is it Jill? Jill's a character. Like there's characters. I watch their stories and I'm following along, but at the same time, I have no clue what's happened in any other Final Fantasy. So I'm just like, okay. Like there's little characters that you meet in them in the world, this like little white looking bat little thing. And I didn't know what it was. And everybody was like,
Moogle.
and then I'm walking through a field and there was a an Easter egg to Final Fantasy X, I think it is. There's like this scarecrow that's in the field, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's." I'm like, I don't know who
Does
that
it look like Waka? He could be a scarecrow.
Is it Waka Flocka?
Not Waka
is.
Flocka Flame.
It's some guy with a pointy hat that bends. I don't know.
Flocka.
Oh, is that like a mage?
Sure. It's a main character from a Final Fantasy game. I don't know.
I don't think that's 10. I think it might be 9 or 11.
I dude,
It's
I don't know.
important.
I don't it's not important. But I'm having a good time with it. Like I don't I this is the first game in a really long time since Jedi that I'm like I don't want to not go back. Like Diablo 4, I fell off like a cliff on that game. Diablo 4 was like
Same.
fun for a week and then I'm like this is meh. I'm out. And this I'm like okay. Like tomorrow I'm like how much can I play of Final Fantasy? I'm trying to put in an hour a day because this game is beefy.
But
How,
I
how many
appreciate about oh, go ahead.
how many hours have you put in so far?
Almost
If you had
20.
to guess. Where do you feel you are in the story?
I know where I am in the story, but
Like
'cause I
halfway?
know someone had finished it.
Like, do you think
I'm
you're
not
like
halfway yet. No,
Okay.
but I have 3 icon powers, which is
So we're looking at probably like a 40 to 50 hour game.
I
would
got
say
about
60
20
to
hours left in the game.
60 next. 20? I was gonna say 60. Some rookie
Mm,
numbers.
I'm not gonna be doing the side quest anymore now because I got the
Mm.
chocobo.
Mhm.
Because that's the other thing. It takes forever to get across the map. It's semi-open world. It is open world, but it's not. It's still you can't really go certain areas. You're still stuck in that little spot. But now that I've got the chocobo, the white chocobo, I can run around.
I think Final Fantasy showed because I don't think like it was on a lot of people's radar. I mean, it's a big Final Fantasy, but like the hype wasn't surrounding it like some other
3
games.
million copies sold in a week.
Like the hype around Diablo, I think was like more, but like it shows
100%.
the effectiveness of a good demo. Now I haven't played the demo, but all people were talking about is like, oh my gosh, it ends on a cliffhanger. How good it shows a gameplay off. It looks beautiful. Like that's the way to do it. And I feel like people do demos and they kind of roll something out, and it's like, oh cool, like. Did you try? Is this the first level? Like, why does this matter? But Final Fantasy, it seems like they put a lot of care in it, and
They start you like
you don't see
your
demo go right
progress
this.
carries over and your trophies pop as soon as you turn on the game.
It's excellent. They did such a good
And
job
gotta
with
love
that.
I will
it.
say this, they did such a good job of making this for people even such as myself who don't never want to play a Final Fantasy game. And the discourse on the internet of people getting mad that people are liking the thing they like is weird, which is fine. But the more people that like your thing, the more of that thing you get.
Yes.
It's like when Star Wars started making a whole bunch of Star Wars, and like the Star Wars purists start freaking out. Now, interesting enough, older than the Star Wars purist people, and I'm just like, hey, I didn't get this stuff growing up. I got the 3 movies right off the bat, and I got nothing for almost 20 years. Stop it. Let me have my fun.
Yeah.
Just let me live in Star Wars. I didn't have the prequels that started my generation that were terrible. I didn't have that. Let me have this. So like, I don't get it. Like when I get all this Marvel stuff, I'm like, I don't dunk on it. Final Fantasy, guess what? I like it. It's probably going to be my game of the year until I play Spider-Man 2 or Starfield. But
I will say, big ups to Square Enix because they are known for doing the demo and then carrying over your progress. So good on. They've done it with Project Triangle, Octopath Traveler, Final Fantasy. Like they do that all the time.
Everybody should have a demo.
I agree.
They paywall it now, I think, on Sony behind the premium.
Shocking.
Don't they?
No, Final Fantasy demo's free.
Maybe first party or something. I know there's some demos that you can only play with the premium tier.
Yes, there are. Like if you want to play Cyberpunk and all that kind of stuff. Yes, 100%. You're like smirking out of your side.
You want to know where you can get?
They used to make us pay to get the magazine to get the demo. Wabba.
You want to know where you can get a lot of demos if you play on the personal computer?
Oh, Steam's, PC.
I'm just telling you. I'm just
Stop it.
telling you.
Nerds.
Oh, really?
Nerd.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't be nerding it up when
right now.
when I sent you a beautiful PC game. Some would say the best PC game.
Well, for me, yes. That's not fair. It's probably one of my most anticipated games for this year.
Same. It's pretty fun.
I can't wait to play more of it. I want it on the console though. I just want it so badly.
Soon.
So
sorry, Wabba.
So no.
Continue.
I was trying to figure out a segue. I was gonna be like, well, that might be the final report today of Final Fantasy, but coming up soon.
Well, no, you could have been like Final Fantasy threw their demo into the ring, but you never know what else is in the ring.
Oh
Like,
no, I was gonna go to Madden.
Like, what's wrong with you, dude? It was so much easier. It's
I was
easier
going to football.
You could have said, well, speaking of things we couldn't talk about, Pez played Madden 24's closed beta. You could have went that route, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, can I see?
Well.
Can I take that line? But will you guys act like it was mine all along?
Instead, hold on, I'm rolling the D20 again. Instead,
this is my charisma
Hey,
speed check.
guys.
it was a
Vancouver Canucks drafted a person from Sweden. I'm shocked.
shocking.
It's
Louis
like the
Erickson
Boston
doing
Bruins selecting a
cartwheels.
college player.
So, as common as Vancouver drafting a Sweden with the last name Carlson, Pez
Swedish.
played Madden 24 beta. Clap.
Dude, this is painful.
Everybody clap.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
clap.
Please clap.
Pez, tell us about Madden.
So
Please clap.
for those who have listened to the show for a while, I was not a big fan of Madden 23. The gameplay wasn't good. So it seems like Madden 24, I'm going to give it the good and the bad. Here's the bad. It looks like Madden 23. It sounds like Madden 23. It kind of, for the most part, plays like Madden 23. But there are little changes in it that make it better. If you're a football nerd like me, you'll enjoy that they redid their whole blocking mechanics. So now fullbacks and tight ends and linemen will shed blocks and move to a second level, which is always a good thing because it allows you more time to move. It seems like the locomotion or whatever, the physics engine has changed a bit. So players are a lot more shifty. Your fast players are really fast. Excuse me. Your heavy running backs don't move as quick as maybe they have in the past. The blocking again was something I watched because it was something they noted, like, hey, I as an ex-lineman, that I was like, oh, this is actually what they would do on a Sunday. This is what you're taught to do. So that was pretty cool. But ultimately it felt like Madden. I had a great time playing it. I enjoyed it. I think I probably put maybe 4 hours into it, which I feel like is a lot for a closed beta, where I'm not like an EA content creator. So I'm not going to go crazy giving them a ton of feedback, but I did give them some feedback of what I liked and what I didn't like. Ultimately, the problem with EA games is it's always good at launch, and then like 2 patches in, it's the previous game again because they nerf everything because the community complains about it, and then they just stop paying attention and only do Ultimate Team mode. So yeah, it was a fun beta. I liked what I played. I'm not gonna get it unless it comes across the desk for free. Yeah, it felt like a Madden, but it doesn't feel like the Madden game that they need to put out to keep Madden players around, because 23 was that bad. Doesn't feel like it to me anyway.
Didn't the HUT players like strike against buying packs for 23? Was that the year?
Yeah, last year they went on like a 2-week strike or something like that. I doubt it worked.
And then
Because,
they bought
like,
double. They bought
because-
double when they got back.
Right, because then you go into streams and it's just dudes ripping packs like two weeks later. So
Easy.
great, they missed 2 weeks of revenue. I'm sure EA cried themselves to sleep as you then funneled $300 in EA coins into their pocket. It's just, I don't know. I've never been a I stream sports games on Twitch, but it's always like franchise mode. I've never been a big Ultimate Team person, just because like even MLB The Show this year lost me on their Diamond Dynasty because of the way they set it up. And I never liked the way EA does their Ultimate Teams anyway, so didn't play any of that. It was Ultimate Team, so you could play Ultimate Team. It was online head-to-head, which I refused to play.
No way.
And then just quick game. So I was just doing quick matchups. Yeah.
They had a fun single player mode, I think like a few years ago when I did it, where you start in like high school, you play a few games there, then you get drafted. There's this drama with your like teammate who's also a quarterback, and you joined the same college and you took
Mhm.
his spot while he was injured. It was like, some of it was silly because like Snoop Dogg coached like the other team, just let it land.
Naturally.
But like it was fun. Like, and I say that in terms of like, again, NHL, the single player mode is there's
worst.
no reason to get invested
It's the
unless
worst one.
that's your thing. So I hope that this year they do something like that, because I feel like when you put a little bit of time into a story, you can make people want to play and care about that mode.
I didn't
And Madden, I
mind.
thought, did a great job at
did-
that time.
I didn't mind Madden's Face the Franchise last year. The stories are stupid because they're all stupid. It's like, I've been playing the NBA 2K was free on PlayStation, so I've been playing it before I deleted it because it was like 200 gigs on my PlayStation. Insane. But the stories are stupid. It's just like, it's like, that's, I my name is MP because I'm the main player or whatever, and they always give you the stupid name, and then the guy's all mad at you because you got drafted a spot ahead of him, and now he's your rival, and he's making these stupid Instagram videos about you, like no cap dog and all this dumb stuff, and it's just like, these are stupid. Let me go play basketball. I don't want to dress up in a hot dog suit, which you have to do, by the way, in the game.
It could be anyone, guys. We
You
just
have
need to get
to
together and
dress up
find out who it
in
is.
a hot dog suit and like do something. I don't want to do that. Let me go play basketball. Let me go have my dumb story. I know you have a hot dog suit. I know you do.
Wow, but don't put it.
Don't do it. I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed. You see those cankles?
Our poor audio listeners.
What were you saying?
Our poor audio listeners.
Sorry, what were you saying about
Anyway.
dressing up in a hot dog suit? I mean, who would do that? That's so cool.
Anyway.
What? Like, what?
Yeah, but you're not an
Sane,
NBA player. You're
adjusted
Waba
person
plays. You took you
Dress up in
40.
a hot dog suit. I know why I would never do that. It makes no sense.
It took you 40 years to win a Stanley Cup. I don't care if
And it
you
only
dress
took
up
me
in a
4
hot dog.
minutes. It only took me
Hey, the
30
Bruins ain't
seconds
gonna win
to
no
change it
next
to
year.
final form.
Dude, the Bruins, garbage.
Poopies.
Can I get out
Absolute
of this? This is
trash.
really hot.
I don't know why you put it on. No
I
one
don't
told
think
you.
the
asked
bit,
you?
dude. The bit wasn't worth it. It's so hot.
It's the bit that was not worth it. This is like
It's so hot in this hot
this
dog.
is like
I'm melting.
mid 2000s Saturday Night Live right now. The bits are not hitting. Just take it off. Just take it off. I'm
okay.
embarrassed.
I don't want to be here.
I'm embarrassed.
Okay, one sec.
We should be.
Oh my god. I'm
God,
so
it's-
sorry. All you people on the audio that had to. No, you know what? I'm sorry for anyone watching on YouTube. You had to watch it. You had to see it. people on the audio can only imagine what this man looked like.
I'm giving everybody listening to the audio reason to tune into Twitch or youtube.com/3dads@a-console.
He
Oh.
almost told you his own Twitch channel.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you not to go to it. I don't want you to have to deal with that. All right, so that bit seemed like it went on forever. And there's another game we played called AEW Fight Forever. And we're gonna tell you about it now. So again, if you want more, go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/3dads@a-console.
I can't. Like, I don't know.
Crushed it.
Jesus.
So AEW.
It's so painful.
What is there to say that hasn't been said? I'll have you know that I made a TikTok about this game and it has 20,000 views. So I'm kind of a big deal. And I'm sorry, 22.5. So I'm kind of a big deal. So if anybody wants autographs, just let me know. But AEW. Good game. If you are a retro wrestling fan, now let me explain. I played it for a little bit, and the first thing it reminded me of immediately, I didn't look at the tutorials because I'm impatient. And I probably should have. Also, William Regal was like doing it. That's not his name. That was like his WWF name. It's WWE No Mercy for the N64. It is exactly like that game. So if you had fun playing that game, that is my all-time favorite wrestling game. I spent so much time with it. It's that game. There's a few changes, but like from the moves to the like, I didn't need to look at tutorials, and I just figured it out because I played that game so much. Even when you like block punches, when you stick your chest out with like R1, it's like the exact same stuff. So if you're looking for a real simulation like wrestling game, this isn't really going to be what you expect. This isn't simulation. But if you're looking for something arcadey, or if you're a big AEW fan, this is definitely going to be for you. I thought, the single player mode is like kind of silly. You like spend time in between fights, like going into like different cities and like sightseeing and eating food and like going to the gym. And if you're me, you get injured both times, 2 out of 2 times. You go to the gym, so then you get to go to the hospital.
It's like,
and then at these places, you take these really weird selfies with other wrestlers at these locations where the faces look kind of like weird,
awful. They look.
I don't
awful.
know how to explain it.
They look awful.
Like,
it looks like it looks like a bad photoshopped horror face.
I was Matt Hardy, or maybe Jeff Hardy. I was one of the Hardy boys, and he always has this really concerned look on his face, and it's real. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Again, look at the video. I have 2 examples of it. It's just super silly, but yeah. I mean, the fighting is good. Again, it felt right at home. AEW fans are gonna be. I mean, for a first like foray into AEW, because I feel like there are a lot of WWE games that got it wrong. A lot of them. I think this is a good start, and I think if you're an AEW fan, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna be able to take part in some things, and if you're not an AEW fan, the single player tells you about it. Like, so like the story is like you're getting in on the ground floor, you get invited to join the roster, and they actually have like short videos telling you about different steps on the way. So it's cool that you get to experience that as like a new fighter, and also learn about it if you don't watch as much of it. Like I do. I'm not as close of a fan. More of a '90s WE, but it's definitely an interesting game. I think it has a lot of people on the roster. Actually, I think the tag team moves are really good. I feel like it was really hard to pull off. I'm comparing it to a game like No Mercy. There's a lot of different weapons. I feel like there's like at least 30. So I think they spent a lot of time on that, making it like really over the top. So another thing I was like really kind of like surprised by is like intros. When you go into the arena, it's like they just do a pose and then that's it. Like at the top of but like there's no like there's no like fanfare around it. They're not walking down, they're not like, stepping into the ring. It's just like a pose. And I feel like for a wrestling game, I feel like the presentation has to be over the top. And I also noticed too, when you do a finisher, you grapple and you hit like, taunt, which is exactly like No Mercy. You get a replay like immediately, which is kind of cool. But if you look, it seems like the row's end in the stadium or the arena it's just like a black bar all around. I don't know if that's to like. I don't think you see that when you're actually wrestling, but when they zoom out the camera for those replays, it's really noticeable, and it just makes it seem a little empty. And that's kind of what I'm talking about with presentation. I think the gameplay's fine. Like that's the thing. I enjoyed the gameplay. It felt very much at home as a WE No Mercy fan, but I feel like the presentation definitely has opportunity to be improved upon. And I think that hopefully in the next one, they'll be able to take some of what they've learned and add that, because I think the WE games, they're all over the top when it comes to that. But they've also had a lot more time and practice because they've done this since probably PS1.
Right.
But
I don't know if
that's my impression.
I don't know if arcade wrestling games are the style anymore. It plays like an N64 game. It looks like a PS3 game. And if you're coming into it looking for a deep creative wrestler system, I don't know if you created a wrestler, Waba, but it is terrible. It is bare bones. Right now there are no microtransactions, but there is a store, much like No Mercy, where you get money by winning matches and stuff and doing challenges. So there's like 6 daily challenges you have to do. There are weekly challenges. And that is how you unlock like extra poses and items and arenas and stuff like that. I initially hated it when I played it. Initially I was like, dude, no, this ain't it. And then it grew on me a little bit. The matches are really fast. You can finish a match probably 5 minutes. If that. I had some technical difficulties in terms of, I played as Christian Cage and I hit the Unprettier, which is his finishing move. And when I went to replay, they were all T-posing. They were just T-posing in the middle of the ring. And that was and I was like, what is happening? And also that black bar seating issue happened. And I was just like, is my computer crashing or is this what happened? So apparently when you do his finisher, that's what happens. It's $60, I think. I cannot recommend it as a full price game because it is limited in what you can do. The story is kind of lame. Like the single player story is kind of lame, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna go sightseeing, I'm gonna go eat at a restaurant. I can pick whether I'm vegetarian or not. Which is what blew up Waba's TikTok.
Dude, that got me. I saw it when I did that. It's like a veg because I think what's Brian Danielson or Daniel.
He's a
Brian.
Brian
He's a vegetarian, so they added that, and I only know that now because everybody on TikTok let me know that. They told me I was overreacting. Hey, spoilers! It's called hyperbole because that increases engagement. Nerd.
But
you think I think that way? I don't care.
But like the thing is, like, it all got old because the gym is the same cutscene no matter what city you go to. The restaurant is pretty much the same no matter what you go to, and then it's the same thing of you eating, and then it shows you a picture of the food you're eating, like, and then I think I played one where they were in Texas, and he's like, "What's Tex-Mex?" And it's like, dude, what?
Every restaurant's the same. It's just it's a different color palette too. Like I did a intro into it, and he's sitting in the exact spot. It's just the walls are white in one and brown in the other.
Yeah,
and that's what. That's a good point. That's what I mean about like the presentation.
I'm glad I didn't play this game.
I mean, the gameplay is fine.
I was playing Final Fantasy 16,
and it's
possible
fun.
Game of the Year. You guys were playing AEW.
Hey,
I like the gameplay. That's the thing. I know we're kind of like clowning on part of it, but like the gameplay is good.
Just telling you.
Like, again, I'm old. Well, if you are old and you like N64, like No Mercy, and a lot of us have a lot of fond memories of it. Like one of my like favorite N64 memories was when I beat a 2-on-1 match.
Were you like
because
4?
like I had a grind when it came out. I was old enough to throw the rock bottom.
Boom.
That's why we're like drinking.
I was
like, think about it.
I was a freshman in college. I was playing it. I was playing 100%.
We were
in college. Me and my roommate and 2 other guys, wrestling fans from down the hall, would come over.
You know what it also reminds me of?
No Mercy.
Because it happened that same year, the Vince Carter dunk competition.
Oh, the best.
Wasn't it the best?
Vince Carter
when
between
Shaq
the legs.
was like, it's over. Like when that game came out, that was the same year as the Vince Carter dunk.
But AEW is like having a good steak. It's like having a good steak. It's good. It's fulfilling. You're enjoying it. That's the gameplay. And all your sides are burnt or moldy and you just don't want to deal with them. That's what it's like because everything around the gameplay,
Cheese is old and moldy. Where's the bathroom?
everything around the gameplay is not good. The single player is not that good. The creator wrestler is super bare bones. The online play, I don't know if it's because it's not like officially out until Thursday, but the online play, I couldn't find matches. I don't know if people
that
just
might
aren't
be-
playing
No,
online.
yeah, I don't think you
Um,
can until it hits.
So I can't speak to that. But and the roster is pretty good, but it's not. There isn't like a lot of newer people because it's obviously there's like a cutoff from
Mhm.
when. So hopefully they'll add in some new people. Hopefully there won't be DLC, but there probably will be. Just like give us updates or like if you're gonna give us a DLC, give us like a New Japan DLC so we can recreate Forbidden Door. I know none of these two bozos know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue.
Forbidden Door just
Honestly,
happened, didn't
if
it?
you think
Yeah, it
about
happened
this,
on
you guys
Sunday.
went
It was
from
awesome.
Madden to AEW. I've been sleeping for like 25 minutes now.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome. You said
But-
your back hurts, so we don't want you to carry us.
My
It's
back
fine.
does hurt. Man. It really does hurt.
Well, you can buy two wrestlers right now. I think one of them's a referee and one's a guy with a scarf. And it's only 10,000 like in-game dollars, and you
Mhm.
can get that pretty easily. So I hope they do more like that. And the fact that they don't have microtransactions, like, thank God.
Right.
Like, I think it's really cool to see a developer being like, hey, you can earn whatever you want here, and we'll like rotate it and you get challenges. Like, what a breath of fresh air that is.
yeah,
Like,
they're
I
not
respect
selling
the
you.
heck out of them for not doing that.
They're not selling you a battle pass. They're not selling you a season pass. None of that stuff. Yet that we know of
Imagine a world where games do that, and this is one of them. So,
in this day and age.
In a world.
In a world.
but yeah, I mean, Pez, I think you kind of put it. The gameplay is good, and I think that's like probably the strongest point. But you need to like surround it with a more polish, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, I
But-
think it's good enough. I think AEW fans are going to enjoy it. They're going to be able to play with the wrestlers they've been wanting to play with. But for folks who are maybe on the outside, kind of, well, you probably watch it more than I do, but I just want more, I don't know, substance to some of
It's
the
not-
other modes and other things.
It's not 2K. So it's not WWE 2K. You're not getting simulation wrestling. That's it.
And like you said, like the whole like workout, that reminds me of like UFC, like Undisputed, where it was like you do like a few certain actions in between, and like, or fight night,
Yeah.
round 2, a few certain actions you have between fights. The fights are fun. The stuff in the middle, it just seems kind of grindy until
Mhm.
eventually you get overpowered, and then it's like But
Yeah, then you don't have to
Again,
worry about it.
it's their first try. Like, and again, I think it's good, and I think hopefully each year they continue to build on it, and that's important. Any other final thoughts from folks? Of things are playing, any gamer thoughts, anything for the listeners?
Go see Across the Spider-Verse. It's very good.
Yeah, I really
Boom.
liked it. We can't talk about it because Waba hasn't seen it, but like the
Yeah.
last time we really liked the movie and we said we couldn't talk about it till Waba had seen it, it was like a month later and it was
Oh
almost
my
past the
God.
point.
The-
And I kind of want to talk about it anyways, even though because we know Waba's not going
We're,
to watch it. On
we're
the
doing
weekend.
it Wednesday.
I will watch it on the weekend.
We're doing
I'll
it
watch it
Wednesday
between Friday.
because
Do you remember what happened? Was it the Batman or Top? Was it Batman or Top Gun where he just
must have been
took
Batman.
forever?
I still haven't seen the new Top Gun, so maybe it's that.
there you go. Because my
I had
11-year-old
to
walked
watch the first Top Gun.
my 11-year-old walked out of the movie theater and screamed. That was awesome. She loved it. She loved it.
Yeah, my daughter thought it was amazing,
It was good.
and she's only
was good.
6, and she thought the movie. She came out, and she's like, "I'm Spider Gwen." I'm like, "Yeah."
I
no."
was completely
So,
shocked
Pez,
at the ending.
Here, this will be totally not
Again.
about this. No, I'm not going to talk about the movie.
Okay. I'm preparing.
Spider-Man 2 end credit scene, the video game. Gwen Stacy, Spider Gwen,
I would I don't
and
think
she
they'll
gets her own
go.
standalone game like they had Miles Morales, and then the next game is Miles and Gwen.
That'd be
I don't
cool.
know if they'll go that route. It
I think
doesn't
they
seem
will.
they're ready for that yet. You think it'll happen? I don't know. I
Well,
don't know if
I think it's
Maybe.
too easy.
maybe. I mean, really what you do is then work in a Spider-Verse in the Spider-Man games, but I don't know what their
They can
vision
do what
is
they
for
want,
it.
right? They're already making
Yeah.
Venom, not Brock.
Right.
So why
a
can't
whole new
they
Venom.
have Gwen Stacy in this world?
Do we think it's a Harry Osborn Venom?
So I think it's a Harry Osborn, but some people are saying they think it's Craven.
I think it's Harry Osborn as well.
Because at the very end of the first game, spoiler alert, Harry Osborn's got the symbiote on him.
Does he? Because
Remember?
all I remember is
He's in the water, and there's a symbiote in there.
okay.
It-
I remember that whole thing, but I don't remember if there was a person in there or just a symbiote in there.
And what
But,
my guess is Peter goes in there, sees the symbiote comes onto Peter, but the symbiote wants to be with people that are bad and just gives up on Peter after a while and then goes back.
maybe we'll get a recreation of Spider-Man 3's church bell scene.
I hope not.
Then we can get the dance.
I can't wait to play the game. Like the game looks amazing. I'm gonna replay Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales just to get back into it. Miles Morales
Spider-Verse.
is still my favorite.
I turned Miles Morales on today because of Spider-Verse.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, I want to get back into it and see what's going on. And then I got whooped on by the Roblox lab or whatever it is, Roblox, whoever the bad guys are, because I
The
forgot
Roblox?
all
Oh
the,
yeah, the
all the
combat is
controls.
if you're not starting that, if you're trying to go back in when the combat's like already full, you get your butt.
I already
whooped.
beat it. I went in post campaign just to
Mm.
clean up a little bit. Yeah, I will say, you know what I do like about PC? I know you guys are gonna roll your eyes, but
It's terrible.
when I yeah, okay, buddy. When I loaded up Spider-Man Remastered, you know who I was playing as? Gwen Stacy. Swinging around in a modded Spider-Gwen suit. It was pretty fun. It's pretty neat.
PC nerds.
Yeah, we're the best.
Nerds.
We're
So,
the best. You guys,
last
you know
thing-
what? You guys
You're
play
not.
your 30 FPS
Guys,
Starfield.
You literally have a PlayStation 5 behind you, and majority of the time you play video games is on your PS5.
I'm gonna play 60
That's not
FPS
true.
Paw Patrol World.
I play most of my games on my PC. I play The Division on my PS5.
Yeah, that's the good game.
This is causing a division between us.
But
it's not.
because it's
I'm
not
gonna ask you
crossplay.
guys this: do the Boston Bruins make the playoffs next year?
Of
No.
course they do. They're gonna have Milan Lucic.
No, they don't.
The
I
fact
don't.
that Waba says they are, they're not. Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, I believe
so-
that in my heart of hearts.
So I don't, because I don't think they currently do not have a first line center.
You don't need one.
Oh yeah, you do. They don't have a second line center. Charlie Coyle's not a second line center. Charlie Coyle's a
Yeah.
third line center. Tyler
Yeah, people-
Bertuzzi, the guy they went all in for and traded all their picks for, doesn't want to be here at all.
Yeah,
So then
same.
they salary dumped Taylor Hall to get Tyler Bertuzzi, who was like, nah, fam, gonna hang out at the beach, deuces. I'm gonna go sign with the team that beat you guys. They have to trade one of their goalies because they have no cap space, because they have just thrown money at people like crazy. David Pasternak's new contract kicks in, which is fine. He deserves 11 million. I'm not complaining about that. But then you look at Hampus Lindholm making like 8 million. It's like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? You haven't shown up in 2 playoff series at all. Why are we paying you that money? And now they have no one in the cupboard because they can't draft outside of like a year ago. Fabian Lysel's not ready. People are like, oh, Fabian Lysel's the guy. He's going to come up. He's going to be in the third line. Hey, bada bing, bada boom. Fabian Lysel's not ready. And even if he is ready, he's going to play in the third line. Okay. So you have no center. You have no second center. You have an aging Brad Marchand. You have an inconsistent Jake DeBrusk, who someone yells at him in the street. He goes going on a psychotic break and he's done for until May. Okay. The Boston Bruins don't have it like they had it in years past because they didn't build through the draft, because Don Sweeney can't draft. And that's it. Look at teams that have won. They build through the draft. The Bruins cannot build through. They did build through the draft.
They only have one pick in the first 5 rounds this year, and they don't have one pick in the next 3 rounds next year.
They did build through the draft, and they won the cup in 11, and then they lost in 13, which people are going to say they choked in 13. They lost to a better team. Chicago was a better team. And then they choked it away against the Blues. And that's it. The core's done. So what are they going to do? Bring back the corpse of Torrey Krug, bring back Patrice Bergeron, which bring Bergeron back.
If you're them, if they finish last in the league, which I don't think they will, but like they've traded their first round pick.
Yeah, if they finish in the bottom third, they don't have a top 10 pick. They don't. Like, they went all in. They should have gone all in because this was the year, but then they failed. And this is, if they went all in and won, we wouldn't care. We say, oh yeah, they won the cup. Next year's a wash. Blah, blah, blah. We've seen it before. Nope. They went all in. They choked away a 3-1 lead. They choked away a Game 7 lead. They lost to Florida, and now they have nothing to show for it. The guy they want doesn't want to be here. That's it. That's all you have to, that's all you need to know. The guy they went after and they dropped draft picks for and capital and all this stuff doesn't want to be here. And you know why he doesn't want to be here? Probably because he looks at the people coming up and he's like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to, I'm 28 years old. I don't want to sign for 60 years and in 3 years be playing with, Billy Schmucks over there on the right side. That's it. They have no one. The draft stunk.
I'm just excited to see Lucic again.
I hate you so much.
Same, honestly. You're the worst Bruins fan there is.
Why? Because I'm excited about something?
No, a lot of Bruins fans are excited about Lucic. It's like, I get it. You're going to stick him on the fourth line, and that's fine. And as a fan, it's kind of cool to be like, Milan Lucic is going to beat the bag out of somebody, and it's only going to be 900,000. You know why I hate it? Because I got to listen to Bruins fans be like, oh my God, Milan Lucic is coming back, kid. He's going to punch a guy in the freaking Tuesday, my guy. It's going to be 2000. It's going to be 2013 all over again. He once scored 30 goals in a shortened season because he was out of shape, but then he got in shape when the playoffs came and they won the cup. He's going to be amazing. That's what I have to listen to.
Calgary here, too many people, so he had to come back to Boston.
That's what I have to listen to.
I know who's excited for him to come back. The guys outside the Garden that sell
right?
T-shirts that say Milan Lucic Fight Club that I tried to do, and they copyright struck it. So
Dude,
good for them.
Lucic Fight Club and Win or Lose We Still Booze shirts sales are gonna go up 300% outside of the Garden.
Win or lose, we still booze. Hey,
Shirts
your boys
flying off the shelves.
I'm about to make that.
Flying off the shelves.
Accord, I'm glad you brought that point up because now every Bruins fan who listens to us is depressed.
That's fine. They
Like
should be.
Pez.
I was depressed way before
Go
that.
Knights.
You think the Bruins may be depressed? Oh boy. You have another thing coming.
I've been depressed from the womb.
I own stock in
can't stop
Nintendo. How depressed do you think I truly can be?
I haven't smiled in 28 years. For those who do smile, thank you very much for joining us. We hope you had fun.
Those that do smile, go to the dentist.
Yeah, if I don't smile, you can't see the cavities.
That's right.
Make sure to check us out, youtube.com/3dads-and-a-console. We have a whole bunch of new videos coming out. We also have a bunch of awesome shorts that Pez has been putting together. Some from games and some actually from these episodes. So check them out. They're really good.
If they'll post his shorts.
Yeah, if they post. And also make sure to check us out on Twitter @3dadspod. We do have a bunch of things coming up very soon that we want to make sure you are updated on. Hopefully we'll have some news next week to share with all of you. We alluded to it a little bit last week, but we'll have more concrete information then. Thank you very much for joining us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.